Dragon's Rising Season 2 set up Kai and Nia to go find and help Jay in the third season of Dragon's Rising. And it just so happens that they're the three characters who took a serious nosedive in the 11-minute era, looking at one season in particular. So pairing these three up, and based on what DR has set up so far in its first two seasons, this side plot, I believe, could very well be the best plotline we've gotten from Ninjago. Or at least one of the best. In Season 2, we saw Roz recruit Jay for the Source Tournament because, one, he was probably really desperate for fighters since his plan was to have Cinder along with the Forbidden 5 compete, but he ended up only being able to free one of the 5, and he knew what Jay means to the ninja, so he was hoping that Jay would be able to easily defeat them. I don't think we're ever told how Roz found Jay and then how he knew who he was, but either way, when Jay was defeated by Nia, Roz's backup plan was to make Jay leave the tournament in hopes that the ninja would follow. And because that also failed, Jay is now out on his own, not knowing who he is and who he can trust. Moving over to Kai and Nia, Dragon's Rising has done a fantastic job at making Kai and Nia actually feel like siblings again after the 11-minute era, where if you weren't already familiar with these characters, you wouldn't know that Kai and Nia were siblings unless someone mentioned it. With the exception of a big splash, the first episode of Seabound, I rewatched most of that episode recently while gathering footage for another video, and Kai and Nia's relationship is really well done there. But then Kai is promptly ignored for the rest of the season. Anyways, I'm not going to go in depth on what DR has done for these two, since I already made a full video on them back in July. Having these two go on a solo mission in Season 3 might be the best thing Dragon's Rising has done for them yet. It will give Kai and Nia plenty of time to bounce off of each other, and maybe we can get to see some more of their childhood like we did in Season 2. As well, giving these two a lot of time alone together will make up for the very little screen time they shared during the second half of Season 2. And there's another factor to their dynamic that could make things very interesting and tense that I'll bring up more later. So you have Jay, who has amnesia and therefore doesn't know who he is or where to go, and is presumably just wandering around looking for something to help him find his way. And you have Kai, who's Jay's best friend behind Cole.
He lost his memory. It's like he's a completely different person.
Well, in Jay's case, that might be an improvement.
And Nia, who's Jay's girlfriend and has been with him for years, tracking him down, not even knowing if they can do anything to help, but are dead set on trying to get through to him. Thanks to Roz, Jay thinks that the ninja are the bad guys and especially hates Nia for stealing his elemental powers during the tournament. On the other hand, though, since Kai wasn't at the tournament, Jay won't know who he is, so maybe he'll be the one to at least start to get through to him. Unless Jay has already seen Kai post-merge. There's this theory that's been going around that back in episode 4 of Season 1, when Kai got hit by the boulder and is sent flying quite far away from the Kragling village, he landed near the administration and ran into Jay. He tried talking to him, but realized that Jay didn't recognize him and had lost his memories. He didn't have time to try and help Jay because Nia and the rest of the Kraglings were in danger and needed help. I kind of forgot where the original theory ends and my own ideas for this theory begin, so the rest of this will be a mix of the original theory and my own interpretation of it. Kai was originally planning on telling Nia what just happened as soon as they fought off the Earth Dragons, but to his surprise, when he got back, not only was Lloyd there, but also two brand new students Lloyd had picked up. So in the chaos of the fight, along with reuniting with Lloyd and being introduced to Eren and Sora, Jay managed to escape his mind for a little bit. And by the time he remembered, which wouldn't have been that much later, he started questioning whether or not he should even tell Nia. He didn't want to make Nia upset over learning about what happened to Jay, and he wouldn't want the news to get in the way of Lloyd's training. And then Nia stays in the Cloud Kingdom to do research, and from there, as more and more time passes, Kai goes from wanting to keep the truth from Nia to try to protect her, to wanting to keep the truth from Nia to not ruin their relationship. because at this point Nia would almost definitely get mad at Kai for not telling her for so long. And then we get to the episode where this theory stems from. Season 2, Episode 3, The Phantasm Cave. In this episode, everyone is forced to live their worst fears. Aaron's parents not being proud of him, Heatwave being infected by the wasting sickness, Lloyd not being able to live up to Master Wu, Jay not recognizing Nia, and Imperium taking control of Sora's life? Maybe? The point is, Kai's the only character that we don't know what they saw. And after Nia frees everyone, we can see Kai in the background of one shot, looking at Nia with a sad or possibly guilty look. And if Kai's keeping this big secret from Nia, then it makes sense that in the cave, he saw Nia finding out about said secret, and this will explain why we don't know what Kai saw yet. And now that they're going after Jay, it's only a matter of time before Kai's secret is revealed. I don't know how true this theory is, but I wanted to talk about it because I really like it and hope this is at least somewhat true. Like, maybe instead of running into Jay in the Kingdom of Madness, he, like Nia, saw Jay in the Phantasm Cave. But yeah, it's this theory that really makes me think that the side plot could be one of the best plots we've ever gotten. And that's all thanks to Jay not being in A Lot of Dragons Rising so far. Without Jay being here, the writers are able to focus on Kai and Nia's relationship without having to worry about making time for Jaya. Jay not being here is how we're able to possibly get amazing plots like this. And even if season 3 doesn't turn out like what I've been talking about this entire video, Jay's absence has already affected the show, and mainly Kai and Nia, so much in such a positive way. It's hard to believe that Jay's story is only one aspect of Dragons Rising Season 3 that I can't wait for. There's also all the stuff with the Min 5, Aaron and Roz, Zane and Pixel, possibly some stuff with Frack, and then of course Moore's return. And while I believe that Jay's plot is most likely going to be one of the most prominent, it's still crazy just how much is going to be surrounding it. There is the possibility that this plot goes a completely different direction than what was set up at the end of Season 2. Like, there's a chance that Kai and Nia don't go off on their own to find Jay, and he integrates into the main plot in a different way. But what I discussed in this video is the plot I'm hoping we get, or at least something close to it. What do you guys think will happen with Jay and Kai in Season 3? And with that, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. Bye!